So it's a really competitive market and you're worried about competing against multiple offers and you want to win, but you just don't know what to do. Well, I'm here to help. My name is Mickey Candola, the Realtor with Soul, and I'm going to take you through my 5-step process on how a lot of my clients win multiple offers by following this simple process here. So I'm just going to open up my PowerPoint here for you. And so again, this is called How to Win When Competing Against Multiple Offers. So just move myself up there and we're gonna go. So first of all, let's address some of the concerns. A lot of people are concerned and frustrated with competing offers and they don't even want to compete, and a lot of them miss out because they just don't know what to do. They think they're not gonna win. They're afraid to overpay for the home. Have you felt that way? They're also afraid to be priced out of the home that they want. That's another worry of theirs. So if you felt any of these feelings, you're not alone. Many of my past clients have felt the same way, but we have secured them a home by following this simple 5-step process. Now, just a caveat, little disclaimer, this is a general advice video. All my advice alters based on the specific situation in the market and how many offers and all that type of thing. So again, before making any decisions, please do consult your real estate agent. And if you don't have one, please feel free to give me a call. I'd love to give you some advice as well. Okay, so I'm gonna move myself there. Now, the 5-step process. So very simply, number 1 is get a pre-approval letter in writing, and I'll go through all of these in detail. Second, have a customized client letter, even better yet, a video. Conduct due diligence prior to the offer, so check everything before you submit the offer. You want to put your best foot forward when you're submitting an offer, and have your agent submit a personalized video with the offer. It goes a long way. So right now, we're going to talk about the pre-approval letter. Please, please, please make sure it's in writing from your lender and not in email. Okay, so printing out emails, every lender should give you a pre-approval letter in writing. It boggles my mind when I am having listings, how many people say they're pre-approved or agents say their clients pre-approved and there's no letter, right? Remember, most deals do fall apart due to financing and the seller doesn't know you. So you just want them to trust you, like, hey, I trust you. I don't know who you are. No, provide something in writing. And when you do that, you're already in the top 20%. Okay, obviously assuming your price is comparable to one of the higher prices and that type of thing. But only roughly 20% of offers I get on my listings have a pre-approval letter, probably even less than that. So the second step, once you have a pre-approval letter, make a customized client letter or video. So I have samples of this I sent to my clients, and remember, sellers have sentimental attachment to their homes. They really care who it's going to. So you want to connect with their heart. Write a little story about yourself, why you like the home, a little picture of you and your family, something really cute. And sellers really love their home, or even it's an investment property, let them know why you like it. I find handwriting is usually the best with a little picture. It's more personalized. And so what happens, what's happened in my experience is when I'm in multiple offer situations and it's close, we're close with another offer, a lot of times preference is given to us because they said, oh, we really liked your letter, we really liked your clients and that type of thing, because they felt a connection, whereas the other offer was just an offer. There's nothing about the clients in there. Does that make sense? So sometimes we can match it, or sometimes they say, hey, increase your price by a couple of grand more than theirs and we'll take your offer. It's happened, so it definitely can make a big difference for you. Lastly, if you're able to do a video, right, just shoot a quick video on your phone, hey, I really love your home, this is a little bit about me, da, da, da. If you're comfortable doing that, that's even more powerful, because let me ask you, if I for example wrote this in a blog, right, rather than you seeing me now, would that have the same impact, right? If a picture is worth 1,000 words, how many words is a video worth? Just think about that, right? What I'm doing right now. So this is obviously having a much bigger impact than just if I just wrote it down, because you can feel kind of my personality and who I am as well. Okay, so third, do as much due diligence as you can prior to submitting an offer. Okay, in general, this is in general, The more conditions or subjects you have, the less competitive your offer is going to be, right? Depending on the number of offers, but in general. So get your pre-inspection done of the home before you make an offer. Yes, it's a financial investment, but if you're serious and you're going to go your top dollar on the price and you feel you're going to be very competitive, definitely worth the money. There's a couple options here. You can get a full inspection done, or you can get a nuts and bolts inspection done. I won't go into that now, but there's a couple options. If you have more questions, contact me. You want to make sure you review the title. Your agent can review it. You can review it. You can have a lawyer review it. It's more stringent or more important for non-strata properties, okay, than strata properties like condos, where it's more for houses. We still check them for strata properties as well, okay, just so you know. Now, if you're non-strata, like a detached house, you want to make sure your home is insurable, okay? So you want to take that and give it to an insurance company and have them make sure it's insurable for you, all right? And try to get the insurance papers from the listing agent of the home to make sure it's insurable. On strata, it's already fire property insurance is already included, so you don't need to worry about that too much. Now, strata, for strata properties, condos, townhomes, for example, you want to make sure you review and approve the strata document. So in my listing, for example, the latest one, I submitted all the strata documents way in advance, and there was offers still where they had subject to strata documents. I'm like, did you guys not read it? What's going on here, right? One other suggestion is, if you can, try to get a rush appraisal in. It's very difficult to do, but if you can, it mitigates paying a shortfall. So for example, if it's a situation where like a condo, let's say it's 300,000 and it sells for 370, and you want to make an offer for 370, well, it should appraise for about 370, so you don't have to pay the difference. If it appraises for 350, you're likely liable from your lender to pay the difference between 350 to 370, come up with an extra 20 grand. Does that make sense? So if you can get the appraisal done prior, okay, to making an offer, that helps as well. And all these things help you remove conditions from your offer, okay? It's not 100% safe, but this all mitigates a lot of your risk, okay? So if you include all the subjects like financing, like inspection, everything in multiple offer situation, and like let's say on my list, this one we had like 7-8 offers, it shows you're not serious, because I go, hey, you could have taken off this, you could have checked this, you could have checked the strata documents, you didn't. So how serious are you? Right? Whereas other people took most of them off and like, hey, these are serious. They reviewed everything. They're very serious on this home. Okay. Now, if you are going to go in subject free, meaning no subjects in your offer, please make sure to include a bank draft. Okay. Because once you include a bank draft, a copy of a bank draft, it's cheap to do, like 10 or 50 bucks. Some people will be like, oh, I don't want to spend the 50 bucks. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Right? Are you kidding me? Because what a bank draft does, it makes your offer firm, done deal right when it's signed. That's what it really does. Okay? It gives a lot more assurance to the seller. Next thing you want to do here, sorry, I just put due diligence. Okay. Put your best foot forward. Okay. Now the caveat is you got to see how the listing agent is doing his offers. This is a generalization. So number one, you're not going to know the price of other offers. Why would the listing agent tell you that? It's not in the interest of his seller. He'd be in detriment of his seller and going against his agreement with the seller to do the best for him or her. Now, we can guesstimate the market value of the home based on past sales. You see how past is in bold there? That's very important to know, because all based on sales that happened prior to this date. But remember, multiple offers a lot of times record record prices. So now that those past sales don't matter as much, it just gives you a little bit of a benchmark, okay? So what market value essentially is how much you're willing to pay as a buyer, how much they're willing to sell for as a seller. That's what market value is, okay? So my advice overall, this is a generalization, I know I'm repeating myself, I just want to be careful, is pay the most you're willing to pay for the property in a multiple offer situation. And if you pay, let's say your offer is $1 million and you're like, well, I go, you're my client. And I go, well, if you give $1,001,000, would you lose sleep at night? If you say, yes, I would lose sleep, then $1 million's your price. Play that game until you know your top budget for that property. Okay. Because in the Lower Mainland, depending on the market, a lot of times, that's what needs to happen to get it done. So please bear in mind that whatever price that property goes for, let's say it's a condo in downtown and it sells for $800,000. Now the next one listing that's comparable is going to use that as a benchmark and likely going to want more than that. Does that make sense? So that's how prices keep rising and rising and rising. So it's better to give your top budget up front, caveat below, rather than waiting, because then a lot of times you might end up paying more later. Does that make sense? So what you want to do is you want to ask your agent to find out how the listing agent runs multiple offers. In my experience, most of them say put your best foot forward, and if you're close, we'll have a chance for you to potentially increase it a little bit more, but put your best foot forward. And that's how I usually do mine as well. And lastly, make the terms favorable for the seller. It's not about you. It's about making it favorable for the seller. You're trying to present it. You're trying to get them to accept it. So, deposit. Put a larger deposit than someone else. For example, someone puts 5%, put 10% if you have it, because that deposit forms part of your down payment anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter as much. It gives them security, the seller security that, hey, this person's not walking away. And dates, try to accommodate the seller's preferred dates. Even if you ever get a rental, I know it's inconvenient and maybe you should or shouldn't, but in general, if you can accommodate their dates, you're gonna have more favorability, because dates are very important for people that are moving as well, okay? So just bear that in mind, have a plan B in mind for where you can live if you do need to accommodate their dates a little bit more in a very competitive market, right? Last one, okay? I don't see this too often happen on my last listing, and I was very impressed, and I also do it for my buyers when I'm submitting an offer most of the time. Have your agent submit a video with the offer. So what happens in the video is the agent records it and sends it to the listing agent along with the offer, not just emailing an offer, but also a video with the offer. In days where it's harder to present in person, this helps give a personal touch and asking that the seller watches it. So what I do in the videos usually is I illustrate the offer. I'm selling the offer as well. So here's the price, here's the dates, here's a lot of the terms, all that type of thing. And then I'm talking about my client on top of this, on top of whatever letter I send or video they send me, I'm presenting who they are, right? So I'm not just selling the offer, I'm selling who my client is. And lastly, I'm thanking the listing agent, because I want that listing agent, and I'm giving genuine compliments on what they've done well, and because I want that listing agent on our side, okay? I'm putting my ego aside for my client's betterment. Now, what this does, this video, is how many people send it? Barely any. And when your agent does, it leaves a great impression on that listing agent and the sellers, and it shows professionalism. It shows, hey, this person has it together. If we accept this offer, I know there's not going to be any hiccups. This person's going to be very easy to deal with, okay? It helps having the listing agent on your side, and it also assures sellers that the home is going to good people when we're talking about who our client is, that they're good people, they're family people, a lot of different things about the client, right? And about the buyer, sorry. So we're not just selling the offer. Very important, just want to reiterate that. And lastly, the video helps clarify any ambiguity in the offer. So for example, there could be clauses, terms. A lot of realtors use different contracts. I have my own, I've compiled over 11 years from so many different brokerages I've worked at, and I got different clauses. Not every realtor's seen that. So I want to make sure that anything that could be ambiguous, I can clarify. For example, I have a clause that we need access for appraisal or trades. I want to make sure that they know, hey, this is not going to be every day. It could be a couple times. It's not going to be anything major. Just want to assure you of that, and those type of things, okay? So that is the 5-step process there. Disclaimer, these are my opinions based on my experience of over 11 years. Consult your agent before taking action. If you don't have one, contact me. Be happy to give you some advice. And again, the advice varies based on individual circumstances, okay? So again, if you have any questions or comments, my name is Mickey Candola with Royal LePage Wilson-Croft, the Realtor with Soul. Thank you so much. You can reach me by texting or calling 604-337-1165, or follow me on Instagram or Facebook at the Realtor with Soul. By the way, if you do know someone that is looking to make a move, please do keep us in mind for referrals. We are looking to take our business to the next level. You can provide their contact information, and we will be sure to take great care of them. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you found it of value. Take care. Bye for now.